What's up, ninjas? Semen retention. Is it a real superpower or just a fairy tale, a myth? In this video, I'm going to tell you how I went 183 days without spilling my seed. That's right, 6 months, half a year on semen retention. Now, first of all, I get a lot of hate for this because they think like I'm some kind of superior dude who's telling everybody you got to do this. First of all, look, I'm doing an experiment right now. If you don't know me, my name is Nakapan Pung Pon. I'm on a journey to become the first Triple Crown world champion. That's a world champion in the over 45 division in Judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Kudo. And I run a lot of experiments on myself because I want to be the best version of myself. And you guys all benefit because I will report it here and hopefully share this with the world to make it better, okay? Help you on your journey, but also kind of this is what it's about, right? It's about self-improvements on this journey of martial arts. And so I'm sharing it with you. So don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what I've experienced. I'll also say this. I just finished competing and placing third in the Masters World Championship. I didn't quite reach my goal to get gold and to get that first jewel on that Triple Crown, but I was close. And one of the things that I did do was I retained my seed. Of course, the day after, as a celebration with my wife, too much information, spilled it. So I can also tell you how I feel afterward and what I was feeling like before. Okay, so, and again, this is anecdotal. People would say like this is not a science experiment, so to speak, but I can tell you that the things that I've experienced were very, very real. One of the things, look at my face. How does this look? Is it shining? Because some people say like get more angular face. Your eyes get more sincere. Your skin complexion is better. I experienced this, and now that I look at myself like afterward, now that I'm like 1 or 2 days back on the streak of trying to retain my seed, I don't see the same glow. I don't see the same aura. Is that just me, or do you guys see that too? Is that a real thing? 3 things that I really felt when I was retaining my seed. Now, of course, there's like a journey you go through with this, and I'm back on that journey, by the way, because I felt really good. I felt so good about those things that's why I want to keep this as a lifestyle. Some people would also say like, well, you're married, like how do you do this? I'll tell you, there's a lot of benefits to it too, being married. I will share that with you as well and how I do it. Hopefully I'm not gonna share with you a lot of information because this is a family channel, okay? But I can say that there's a lot of advantages to it too. And I'll share that with you towards the end. First, I felt amazing amounts of energy, more energy than I've ever felt before. It's hard to explain. Some people would say that like you're kind of throughout your journey, this the chakras or like this energy is being pulled from the root chakra, from that bottom chakra, up towards your body when it comes to the crown chakra to your head, right? I don't know how true that is, but I did a lot of research on it, and I really felt like this boundless energy, something I've never felt before. Because ever since I was about 30 something years old, I just feel like I was just tired all the time. Like I needed a nap in the middle of the day. I'd eat something and I was like, oh, I'm just so tired, right? How can we feel like that? Like maybe it's the food that we eat, the quality of the food, but there's also something to the fact that how can this generation be so tired? How can we feel so tired? How can at 40 I'm still like, I could be feeling so tired? I didn't feel like that when I was retaining. I felt super energized. I could train twice a day. I could train twice a day and do strength conditioning. And I had to be smart about it, right? I got to use the wisdom that I've obtained over 45 years to make sure I don't overdo it because I'm not 20 years old, okay? But I did feel vital. Like I felt a lot of energy. One of the things that they say when you spill your seed needlessly over and over again is that you're losing that life force. And you're losing because it takes a lot of energy to make another human being, because that's what you're doing, right? Like when you're engaged in that activity, you're making another human being. And so you have to generate that energy and let it out. And if you're keeping it and retaining it and retaining all those vital fluids and energy and important nutrients, it can be transported to other parts of your body. So I felt super energized. Now, one of the things that we struggle with in this world, especially with men, is that low testosterone. Isn't that crazy? Low testosterone. Everybody's low testosterone. Everybody needs hormone replacement therapy. Now, I didn't test my this is a good idea now that I've just kind of started from square one with this again, is to test my testosterone levels. because I felt young. I felt this energy that I never felt before. And I think that my testosterone levels were elevated by the very fact that I was retaining my seed. Okay. So that's one really important thing that I got out of it. Two, I felt like, now it does, you go through a bunch of stages, because if you're in this lustful mindset all the time, you look at women a certain way and you're like, oh, I got to get with her. And then so that's, you're kind of dealing with a lot there. You know, it's like you need a hard reset. One of the things that SR does for you is give you that reset. But I would also say that 5 years ago, I got rid of all of my, well, I was working to get rid of all my vices. One of them was watching like extracurricular things on the internet. Let's put it like that, okay? And I get rid of that. And, you know, it took me some time to really rewire my body. But ever since giving that up, I felt like I gotten, there's no depression, there's no anxiety, you know, other than drinking too much coffee. So I had to give up caffeine. And this is not a channel about giving up things, okay? I'm doing all this for the benefit of you guys and you gals, like experimentation on myself. And I'm reporting, letting you know how I feel, okay? But I felt like something was controlling my mind almost. Like it made me think a certain way. It made me feel depressed, if that's a real thing for me, you know? So, but once I got rid of that, like I felt my mind was much more free, much more clear. I was getting more creative. I was feeling more energized. And now with SR, you know, that made me look, it helped me control my thoughts. Because that's another thing you have to do as you do research into it. Brahmacharya or Taoism is to learn to control your thoughts, right? And if you have lustful thoughts all the time, that's almost like you're already messing yourself up. So you have to really control your thoughts. That gives you incredible self-control. And in doing so, my mood elevated. It's very strange. Like, I wouldn't say like you're happy all the time, okay? But you would feel things much more intensely. Like sometimes I saw something so beautiful, I just started like getting a tear in my eye. I'm like, what's happening to me right now? You know, but not in a way where I was like weeping uncontrollably in a corner. You know, it was just like, that's beautiful. And you just feel things intensely. That it was great. It was awesome. And anything that was exciting and fun and energizing, like I felt that. And so it's like feeling everything much more intensely, but in a way that, I don't know. I know it's very hard to explain. It's almost like a spiritual connection to certain things. Um, uh, it's great. It's great. It's like driving to work. I was just like, yes, like, this is amazing. Like, how, how is that ever amazing? You know. So the mood, the elevation in creativity and drive, I felt that as well. And I have to be careful because, again, I have a very addictive personality. You can ask my wife, you can ask anybody around me. Like, well, anything I try to do, I do 100%. By the way, she's a very loving person, my wife, very supportive. And when I told her that I was on this path, she was a little concerned, right? You know, what does that mean for us? And for that, I'll share with you later on. But she's very supportive, and she sees like how beneficial it could be for both of us. And So I really enjoyed that, like in terms of my mood and the drive and creativity that I get. And the fact that like you're just really assertive for some reason. You know, you just won't settle for mediocrity. You won't settle for things that you just won't accept. Whereas before I would be like, oh, okay, like, you know, I just won't say anything, or I guess that's fine. But really it's just like, no, that's not cool. You see something that's not right, you'll say something. You'll advocate for yourself a lot more. I don't know what that is, but it definitely came from retaining, because I never felt that before. Maybe that's aggressivity. Maybe that's like, I don't know what that is. But if you can channel it the right way, I felt it was really helping me a lot. Of course, I'm very careful and sensitive with it. I don't want to make sure like I'm taking advantage of somebody or something, or making them feel a certain way. But at the same time, it's just like, no, we're not going to accept this. Okay. And that's helped me running my business, running the school, leading my people, because people want a strong leader, you know, and they want to know that you know what you're doing and where you're going, and you have conviction in it. Even if it's not the right, I'm not perfect, but what decisions that we make, we're sticking to them, because that's what we're doing. Okay. We're just going to do it. And if it doesn't work, we'll know down the line and we'll make corrections. But once we make a decision, we're not looking back. Burning the boats, let's go. So that was a really important thing I got from it. Now, I'm not saying that I've reset everything now that, I've gone and been intimate with my wife, okay? But they say I looked at the Taoist literature, and for someone like me who's 45, I can spill my seed once every 21 days without depleting myself. Hey ninjas, we're gonna get right back to the video, but first, if you love the content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you really wanna support, please go down to the description section. I have a lot of courses that'll help you level up your martial arts skill, and if you're a martial arts school owner, help you grow your school. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Let's get back to the video. But I think at this point, like, I got so much benefit from it. Now, from competition standpoint, if you're talking about competition, like I got the biggest competition rush, the biggest, like the most amount of focus I've ever felt. I felt like I could make adjustments in the mat during the match in real time. Whereas before, like, I don't know, my mind is somewhere else. Like, what if I get tired? What if I make the wrong move? What was everybody gonna think about me afterward? My thoughts weren't in this anymore. Maybe it was because of the amount of training I was doing, the amount of hours I was able to put on the mat because I had this energy. But also when I'm in competition, I now feel like I'm present during that moment and I can make micro adjustments. Some people would call that fight IQ, which I never thought I had because I was always kind of like a brute force type of guy where I would just go right in and just start swinging, and whatever I connected and hit, like that would, hopefully I would obliterate the target. And if I didn't, I would just, I would lose. So, but now I feel like I can go into a match and hopefully a fight when I do some kudo. I can go in there with a clear mind and analyze what's going on in real time and make the right adjustments fast enough to make a difference in the fight. And I really felt that, there was 3 tournaments that I did retaining. And the first one that the first one that I won was the Pan American World Championships, which I never, thought I was going to be at the top of that podium, but I just felt like no one could beat me. That was weird. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. And maybe that came from retaining too. But these are all kind of the things I'm sharing with you, right? So anyway, those are the benefits, and that's why I feel so strongly about it. And I feel like I'm going to take this as a way of life for right now, because I can, and I have the support of the people around me, right? Here's the other thing. I always get this, especially on the internet. It's like, oh, this guy's not getting any, or he's not. Trust me, my wife gets plenty. All right, that's maybe too much information. But here's the other thing. You don't, as a guy, you always get complaints. You're always like, oh, he's always asking for it. He's always this and that. It's almost like a chore and this and that. No, listen, you're taking the power back. Like, I don't need to do it. I think it's important for a relationship to be intimate, right? Like you're sharing this, that you have this bond, or else we're just roommates, right? But at the same time, like, you learn to become a person who gives as a person just looking to receive all the time. If that makes any sense to you guys out there, right? And because of that, you kind of change the dynamic of that part of that relationship. And that's also very empowering too. You now have the power, whereas sometimes you think that the other side does because you're the one who needs. But if, you've set your mind, sorry for speaking so vaguely, I want to make sure like this video doesn't get demonetized or anything. But if you have questions about it, feel free to DM me. As long as you have the support of the people around you. I said, I'm married. We have a very good life. We're very connected. And she sees the benefit in it for herself and for myself at the same time. So this is not about depriving yourself. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And I'm just sharing my experience with you. Not to say that, like, again, I'm just the messenger. I'm just sending you the information that the experiences that I've experienced myself. That's not to say that you need to do it or it's a better way of life. It's just a way of life, and it's working out for me right now. And I'll continue on this path, and I'll continue to share with you all the experiences that I have from it as we go and achieve this milestone together, go for the next competition. It's going to be in Paris, the Judo Veteran World Championships. So hopefully I'm going to get that first jewel on that triple crown and becoming the over 45 world champion in judo. Again, I have a good AI prompt that's really working out for me with competitions. If you are looking for something to help your nutrition and use AI to help you make weight, be healthy, make sure you look in the description below and download that prompt. I'm happy to send it to you. But if it works for you, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. Of course, to help me with the expenses of traveling the world and doing these tournaments, I have a bunch of courses online One being the foot sweeps of fury. That's one of my signature moves that I hit in most competitions. I'm offering 33% off, and I'll put that in the description below. If you'd like it to get better at your foot sweep game, go there and check it out, okay? That being said, let's go continue to chase greatness together, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.